Hey guys, how the hell are you? Welcome to an all-new iFAQ video. This is infrequently asked questions number 6. Basically, if you've got a question that's burning a hole in your brain, whether it be about guitars, metal, beer, life in general, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. You might get a question answered in a future video. Let's not waste any more time. Into question number 1. Question: what kind of growth do you think you would need in the channel to move to doing this full time? Wow, that's the $1 million question. Dude, I would need a ton of growth in this channel. Just to throw my personal business out there, I've got 22,000 subscribers and an average viewership per video somewhere in the realm of 2,500 to 6,000 per video right now. Obviously, some are less, obviously some are more, or even way more. And with how many videos I'm putting out and with the kind of viewership I'm getting, usually about every 2 months I get a check from Google AdSense that's somewhere in the realm of $125 to $200, give or take a little bit. So obviously definitely not enough to live off of. And it's for this reason that a lot of YouTubers, myself included now, we're open to a lot of paid partnership videos, a lot of sponsored videos, and we basically get money in order to do some of these videos. Now, that being said, I get a ton of offers for this crap, and it's not something where I'm going to say yes to everything. I'm not going to sit here and be doing like, oh hey, I'm going to give away this cheap piece of crap wireless system that was built in China. Why? Just because they're paying me to do this video. I'm not going to do that crap, and I get that email probably like once a week, maybe every week and a half. I also get a lot of requests to do product deals and brand partnerships that honestly make no sense to me whatsoever. Like clothing. I don't give a fuck about clothing. I like wearing my guitar shirts. I like wearing my band shirts. You know, I recently got a request last week after I'd already shaved this off asking me if I wanted to be a brand partnership for a beard oil company. The answer is fuck no, I don't care. I want to talk to companies that are making guitar gear and are making killer guitar gear. That's the kind of brand partnership I would not be opposed to doing. Awesome services, like I did that sponsored video for DistroKid a while back, and the reason why I said yes to that is because that's a service I fully support. I actually was using that service long before they ever approached me. So I've been reaping the benefits of it. I've been enjoying being a member of DistroKid, or having an account rather, and it's something where when they presented that offer I was like, fuck yes, this is a no-brainer. But I mean, that is the facts right there, is that I make hardly any money off of ad revenue as it stands right now. So it's the kind of thing where like I would need other options in order to pursue doing this full time. I would need other sources of income coming in from music in order to do music full time, let alone in order to do this channel full time. Do you still like actual amp modelers like Fractal, Kemper, or real amps? So I am definitely in camp real amp right now, but that is not to say fuck Kemper, fuck Fractal, whatever. I love Line 6 Helix, Kemper, Fractal, all that sort of stuff because it is a really killer product, a ton of stuff wrapped into an all-in-one inclusive package, and it really does serve the purpose that it's intended for. It's kind of funny to me, even though I've got real amps and that's what I'm using now through my two-note stuff because I suck at miking. It's funny, like whenever I hear people talk about, oh, well, I can totally hear the difference between a real amp versus a modeler, it's always mind-blowing to me. It's like, can you really? Like, I know that there's a ton of people out there that can, but in my experience, there's, I promise you, way less people out there that can tell a difference, and they don't know it. Like, if I was to show you a couple of mixes, one using a real amp and one using a Kemper that was mixed appropriately and mixed well, would you really be able to tell the difference? And further, should it matter? Is it being a detriment to the music by not being able to hear that 0.0001% difference of the air coming forth from the speaker. You know, I don't know. To me, I think the jury's still out. I absolutely love both. I think, especially if you're a bedroom guitarist or if you've got a home studio, having a Kemper is actually an incredible piece of gear. I used to own one and I loved it. At the same time, I think that there's something to be said for the real amps. I actually would like to think that I'm enjoying playing through the real amps more right now, but at the same time, if I was to have a Kemper, it's not like I would all of a sudden be like downtrodden and stop making videos. You know, I would still utilize that because it still sounds kick-ass, you know? And yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. I love both. I think they both serve a great purpose, and I think that people that are in one camp or the other and are taking a stance versus the other camp need to chill the fuck out. Me and my girl both make $80K with no debt, and I can't comprehend how you afford those guitars. So I'll be honest, man, like, a lot of it just comes down to saving, you know, pinching your pennies a little bit here or there and gradually building up a guitar fund with which you can actually buy something super nice. And a lot of times, you know, I am flipping gear occasionally. You know, I'm always perusing Reverb, eBay, and Craigslist, looking for really incredible deals that people are maybe not paying that much attention to. Maybe something is listed incorrectly in an eBay listing, so okay, no problem, no one knows what the hell this is really, so let me snag it and let me list it for what it's really worth and see if I can make a little money on it. I'll be honest with you, one of the easiest ways that I've made money through flipping is just from taking better photos and cleaning up the goddamn instrument before I post it. It's hilarious to me how many deals I've been able to score just because the thing looks like shit in the posting. And then I get it, I like maybe polish it up a little bit, maybe I take a little bit of Never Dull to the hardware or something to get rid of some of the patina, and the next thing you know, like, I'm making like $300 or $400 more than what I paid for something. You know, just by doing a little teeny tiny bit of maintenance on it and taking better photos to put in the listing. So it's kind of not hard to make a profit on some of this stuff, and that's honestly how I've made a lot of money to put towards gear. As it stands right now, I have a teeny tiny bit of my paycheck come out into my personal checking account, like something super small, but it just adds up and adds up and adds up over time, and when I get my payments from selling stuff, next thing you know, I've got money to play with. Do you use different tunings, or are you loyal to just one? So there's definitely a handful of tunings that I like more than others. I love D Standard, the Chuck Schuldiner and Gojira tuning. I love that. It's also a great old school death metal tuning as well. I love it so much that it kind of influenced me to start tuning my 8 strings a whole step down as well. So all of my 8 strings are down to E standard right now, and it sounds absolutely killer in that tuning. I've been dabbling with some other tunings here or there. You know, I've got one of my Framuses set up for just E standard just so that I can practice on it and dick around on it. I've been playing around with a few other kind of old school death metal tunings like C sharp standard and B standard and stuff like that, kind of getting a feel for it finally. When I have a 7 string in the midst, you know, I like to play around with a bunch of different stuff, half step down, drop G, whatever. There's definitely a few tunings I'm loyal to, but basically if it's a regular standard tuning or a drop tuning, you know, I'll be more than happy to give it a shot and see if I dig it. But it's not something like I'll go crazy and use open tunings. It's not really my thing. Would you ever be willing to review a brand that you absolutely shit on again? Like maybe Legator. I keep hearing from the ERGN page that people who say their quality has improved, and people who say they're still shit, and I would love to see at least one completely unbiased review of a newer one from someone who knows their shit. So while I'm not necessarily opposed to revisiting a lot of the brands that I've done reviews on in the past, I will say that there are a handful of brands that are blacklisted from the channel per se. I know, big whoop, it's not like it's really going to affect them that much. But like certain brands, the way that they've handled kind of the post video review thing they don't have a place on this channel anymore. You know, in certain instances, it's because of how I was treated. It's in certain other instances, it's because of how friends of mine were treated. I don't really care to give them any press with how they've acted post these sort of negative video reviews that I've done. Some of them I'm definitely willing to revisit again. Some of them I would love to revisit again. But there's definitely a few that will just never ever appear on here ever again because of one reason or another. Not necessarily something I want to get into right here at the moment. But yeah, you know, so as long as a bunch of other brands are wanting to partner with me and or send me stuff to review and check out, then I'm more than happy to just check out this other stuff instead. If you want a great unbiased review on this thing, go check out Sloppy Joe's Shred Shack. He did a review on our Legator recently, and I'm not just, you know, calling him out here because he said, oh, Arnold plays guitar was right. I'm calling him out because he honestly went point by point by point with that instrument, and he did a fantastic fucking review. So definitely give that video a watch if you want to see how some of the newer stuff is. Hey Arnold, big fan of the channel. I have a lot of clients who come to me for guitar work ask, I want to replace my pickups. What would you recommend? My go-to companies are Lawler, Duncan, and Bill Lawrence. What would your go-to pickup companies be? Also, IPAs or stouts? So first, let me answer the second question. Fuck IPAs, stouts all the way. As far as go-to pickup companies, I'll be straight up honest with you, man. It's gotten to the point where I don't really have any go-to pickup companies because so many pickup companies are making such killer stuff. And also, you know, the way that I play, plus the instrument that they would go in, plus whatever materials that instrument's made out of, plus whatever's on my board, plus whatever amp I'm running it through, plus whatever else is going on, all affects the sound. Kind of, it's just all a million different parts coming together to create a cohesive tone. And a lot of times these pickups that sound killer in one instrument are going to sound totally different, maybe even completely awful in another instrument. And so I wouldn't necessarily say I have go-to pickup companies. I would not say Duncan is better than DiMarzio, is better than EMG, is better than Lawler, is better than whatever. You know, I would just say, you know, hey, experiment around, find something that you think works really killer for that particular instrument, and don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what, this one that I got did not work out, let's try something else. Hey Arnold, I'm curious, is your background that constantly changes on your computer guitars you've owned or guitars you like in general? A little bit of both. So this is just something that I put together from a folder that I have on this computer, and it's just something where I've searched on like Facebook, Instagram, and Google and stuff like that, and every time I see a guitar that I think, wow, that looks really, really badass, I add it to that file folder. And then there's also a bunch of stuff that I've reviewed, there's a bunch of stuff that I've owned and checked out before, and it just kind of is all part of this screensaver that I put together. Hi Arnold, do you have any other hobbies outside of guitar and beer? I can imagine working in retail pre-lockdown, plus this channel, plus family takes up a lot of the day. Just curious about what else you get up to outside the guitar room. So, I mean, I'm pretty simple with how I spend my spare time. I do like spending time with the wife and with the dogs, and, you know, before the whole lockdown thing, I did like kind of going out to eat and, you know, checking out a bunch of the sites around the city. I loved going to shows. A lot of what I spend time on in my free time, I just play the occasional computer game, play the more than occasional Xbox game, and I watch an extremely more than occasional YouTube video. I watch tons of YouTube. I don't even really get into TV shows or movies that much anymore. I just watch a shitload of YouTube because there's a lot of guys out there that I just find super fascinating with how they're coming up with content. You know, a lot of bigger names too. You know, I don't know what anyone thinks about him, but I love Markiplier, I love Jacksepticeye, I love Choco Taco. You know, it's even to the point where I would much rather watch Chaco play PUBG than actually play PUBG myself these days. So, I mean, that's just kind of what I like doing. I like being kind of a lazy piece of shit. Sup, Arnold? Do you like Boss Pedals? Any favorites? Yeah, I definitely have a favorite. So I do like Boss Pedals. I like what they accomplish. I love how every time you plug in a Boss Pedal, you're kind of getting the, you know, prototypical version of that sound, whatever that sound is that you're getting from it, whether it be chorus, flange, distortion of many different types. I think that there's a lot of things that Boss does extremely well, and I like how they're able usually to keep their prices a little bit lower and outside the realm of boutique pedal territory. That being said, they definitely don't sound like boutique pedals, and that's kind of what you get. You get what you pay for in that respect. So, I mean, I dig Boss pedals. Would I say that I like them more than boutique stuff? Not really. But I definitely love that HM2. And now it's time for this week's Troll of the Week. And this week's Troll of the Week is Jacob Garrison, who writes, "Damn, dude, I saw the thumbnail and thought, holy shit, is Arnold transitioning? Kinda looking like Chris Chan. Wow, where to even begin with this insult? You were obviously digging deep for that one, man." So first of all, as far as the whole transitioning thing, no, I'm not. Never have I felt like a woman trapped in a man's body. That said, though, why do you think that that's an insult? If someone is in that sort of boat, fine, fucking let them do whatever. It's none of your goddamn business. But wow, you really went there and made that a sort of insult that you could just levy at someone. That's great. And then as far as like looking like Chris Chan, you know, that guy's got so many fucking demons. Let's not even mention him. Let's just kind of leave him to wallow in whatever pit he's creating for himself. You know, I really feel for people like you that just feel the need to like poke at shit like that. Like, okay, I shaved off my beard, you know, yeah, I've got a little bit of that turkey neck thing going on, a little bit of an extra poundage thing happening, and, you know, like, oh, hey, let's fucking make fun of this. So sad, man. Just whatever demons are haunting you, I hope you work yourself through them, because, you know, it's only going to make you a better person if this is how low you're stooping. So that's it for me. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. There's tons more metal guitar oriented content to come.